What's up, folks? My name is Melvin, and welcome back to this amazing place that we call the internet. Now, this little piece of news, is probably making me more excited than any news I've read in about a while. This is probably my favorite news of 2018. Now, the time of well, okay, let's just add a little bit of history so you know sort of the weird controversy that gaming graphics cards are having right now. So ever since cryptocurrency has gained immense popularity, people have been buying them up, and some companies have been raising the price dramatically of graphics cards, and is making it more and more annoying to buy them. Now, for the most part, before that, graphics cards were very easy to buy. Many people did buy them if they had a PC, because it was just an easy way to upgrade a PC without getting rid of the hardware. Like, for example, my PC has 32 gigabytes of RAM. It has an i7, and it currently has like a GTX 670 in there right now. This is a very old computer. This computer is easily like 10 years old. I think somewhere around that line. I was in middle school, so yeah, more like 8 years old, not really 10, but yeah, like 8 years old. And, you know, uh, the graphics card itself is pretty old, but if I replace the graphics card, it would be fine. It really wouldn't have an issue, and it would run better. It would run a lot better for price of that's much lower than replacing it. So, graphics cards for the most part are really good and really positive, but we might be seeing a time without graphics cards. Now, why am I excited if I think graphics cards are good, and that's mainly because of how computers are designed. Like, these computers can get really big, and I think something that I'm more interested in now is making computers smaller, making computers more portable. This computer is huge. It's really freaking huge. It's probably the biggest piece of tech I've ever bought. It's worth its price, but it's huge. And I know for a fact that there are computers out there that are super small. They're probably the size of a portable Bluetooth speaker, and they run so much better than the computer I have now. And I love the idea of just like having a computer like that, maybe putting it in a case wherever I go, and then all I have to do is plug in a monitor and then a Bluetooth keyboard and then a Bluetooth mouse, and then boom, I can, take my computer wherever I go, whether I want it at home or I want it at the business that I'm working in. I'm able to move around with it while keeping it small and portable. You might be asking, why not just have a laptop? Well, laptops have their own places, but they don't really need a dedicated graphics card wherever I go. The computer needs a dedicated graphics card, but, what if I want to take it to a friend's house or something and play some video games? That's not really convenient. Having it in a much smaller package, that I could use it as a portable console. Well, not portable console, but just as a console. But yeah, now we're seeing a point where the CPU itself, or it's an APU, I guess, it's driving the graphics. It's before the CPU would not use any graphics power. That was the graphics card's responsibility. Now the card, now it doesn't need a dedicated graphics card. Now it can be its own graphics card. And before, we have seen some things like that, not necessarily in retail yet because it's really bad in terms of, playing games. But now, some people are released like Ryzen 5. Now, those are actually getting really good specs. I'm looking at some of the specs right here. Overwatch 1080p, 60 FPS. Grand Theft Auto 5, 1080p, 50 to 78 FPS. Killing Floor 2, 1080p, 40 to 50 FPS on high settings. That's really good settings right there. Again, this is for a card that has no graphics card in it. It's for a CPU without a GPU. That is insane. And I'm glad to see these numbers because that means 2018 might be a very interesting time for computers. Now, I hope that 2019 will even be a better time for these types of cards, because that is when I'm planning to replace this computer. Either replace a computer or just get a new one straight out. So I'm hoping that I'm able to get a new computer with this type of technology being well executed, because the way computers are designed are changing almost every year, pretty much. Not necessarily, but pretty much, because of how much stuff is coming out. I remember last year, all people were talking about was external GPUs, being able to just use your laptop and then plug an external GPU, and then boom, your laptop can essentially turn into like a modern day workbench, kind of you can do everything. That was last year, and everyone went crazy for it. I kind of went crazy for it too. I like that direction where it's going. I'm kind of liking all the directions that computing is going so far, and I'm hoping to see, new awesome things from these types of developments. Now, if you don't believe me or I'm saying stuff wrong, just go to the YouTube channel Son of a Tech. He was able to get a early. He was able to get something. He was able to get the card the early, and he wasn't supposed to, but he was able to, and he sort of tested out these numbers. So you can go to his 10-hour live stream and sort of check out how those are running. I'm looking at a little bit at the live stream right now, and yeah, it doesn't look bad. So I'm glad that things are working out very well for this. I'm glad that people are actually putting. That's my bird, JD. Don't worry about him. He's just flying back to his cage. I'm glad to see people talking about this. I'm glad to see an article being written on this and people taking it seriously, because people should take this seriously. This is exciting. This is a very exciting time. I just wish I had the money to afford it, but it's still an exciting time. I would like to know what you guys think. I hope this can actually make computers much better for PC gaming. Like, more people will be interested in PC gaming, because now they don't need to worry about getting graphics cards all the time if they need to upgrade it. Or, just get a new CPU whenever they need to upgrade. Then they're upgrading both the CPU and the GPU all at once. It's a win-win. So I'm really crossing my fingers that that's going to be the future. But again, I'd like to know what you guys think in the comments down below. I've been Melvin Gomez, and I hope you have an amazing time, whether on or off the internet.